What is a SOC analyst and what are their responsibilities? Let's talk about it. Whether you are someone new to the field and thinking about becoming a SOC analyst, or someone who is already actively looking for a SOC analyst job, this video is going to be perfect for you, as I'll be going over a SOC job posting and I'll be breaking it down so you can work on the skills that you are weak in. To start, a SOC analyst, aka a Security Operations Center analyst, is an analyst who is responsible for protecting the CIA triad within an organization, and that being confidentiality, integrity, and availability. They do this by monitoring, detecting, and responding to emerging threats, utilizing various tools in their toolkit. Now, this can be looking into packets, using a network protocol analyzer such as Wireshark, or analyzing endpoint-related telemetry, such as Windows event logs. Now, regardless of the data that they're looking into, the objective remains the same, and that is to find evil. Some of the requirements to become a SOC analyst would typically involve in related education, such as a degree in computer science or cybersecurity. But believe me when I say this, although having a relevant degree helps, it is not mandatory. If you don't have one, don't stress about it. You can always learn it from textbooks or videos here on YouTube. This is a lot easier said than done, but it can be done. As a SOC analyst, you are expected to have some kind of knowledge in various tools, such as an IDS, EDR, SIM, SOAR, firewalls, and many more. Now, the more you know, the better, and you don't need to be an expert in any of these, but knowing what they do and what they're capable of will help you. If you don't know where to start, I have a SOC analyst roadmap that I've created, which I will link down below, along with a video that you can check out. And if you follow that, you will be in a good spot, I promise. With that being said, let's take a look at a SOC analyst position. This posting is from eCentire, which is a MDR managed detection and response company located in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. Now, they are responsible in protecting over 2,000 organizations in 80 plus countries across 35 industries. That is a lot of organizations, and by knowing that, you can expect to see a lot of different threats, which is always a fun time. eCentire makes it known that they protect their customers 24/7, 365. And if you wanted to apply for this role, you must be comfortable in working in shifts to help eCentire with their 24/7, 365 promise. So let's start with the role itself. This position will be working in a GSOC, which is a Global Security Operations Center, as a Tier 1 analyst. There are over 100 members across 2 SOC locations, one located in Canada and another one in Ireland. So that is a huge networking opportunity and many ways to learn from each other. They explicitly mentioned that the successful candidate will perform Tier 1 security analysis across network and endpoint security in a fast-paced and dynamic environment. Expect to be dealing with a lot of alerts whenever you hear fast-paced and dynamic. Moving on to the Tier 1 responsibilities, analyze incoming security signals in real time, which in other words, analyze incoming alerts using various tools such as a SIM or a client's EDR platform. The second one is apply investigative TTPs and use your understanding of threats while following defined runbooks. Now, I do harp on this quite a bit. If you want to become a SOC analyst, you must be able to research and understand how to utilize the MITRE ATT&CK framework to your advantage. My upcoming course, which you can sign up with the link down below, will teach this. eCentire mentions to follow defined runbooks, which essentially means make sure you follow a structured process, and in most cases, do not deviate from it. Some exceptions apply, but this is where they can see if you can follow instructions or not. The third one is perform allow listing/filtering of false positive signals. This is pretty cool to see, as they appear to trust Tier 1 analysts to perform allow listing and filtering of false positive signals. The fourth one is for confirmed true positive signals, you will alert clients using defined templates. Now, I personally love this because it clearly shows that eSentire has their processes down if they are clearly showing this on their job posting. And what this means for you is that you need to ask yourself, are you someone that can follow instructions? And I hope the answer to that is yes. The fifth one is block malicious network traffic and isolate infected hosts. This makes sense as you are working in a MDR environment where containment plays a huge role. I am willing to bet that their runbooks will have an action that will help you do this automatically. However, this means that you must absolutely be certain that there is evil. In other words, you must have some experience in seeing what evil looks like. But Steven, how do I do that? Well, the answer is labs. Check out Cyber Defenders, Blue Team Level 1, Let's Defend, and the many ones out there. And both my SOC roadmap along with my course will touch on this. Next is add malicious IOCs to eSentire's global deny list. This is pretty cool that they have this. I can already see the benefits, and I hope that they have some kind of two-step process to add these IOCs in, indicators of compromise. Because the last thing you want to do as an analyst is add in Gmail or Microsoft as an IOC simply because of a phishing email that you've analyzed. I've personally seen this before, and it caused a lot of availability issues. You want to be absolutely certain and know what you're doing before you add anything to a deny list. The next one is complete basic intermediate client support request. As an MDR company, you will be expected to have some client interaction, whether that is through a ticketing system, email, or phone call. This means that if you had prior experience such as customer service, IT help desk, sales rep, and a lot of other client-facing stuff, you will be a great fit for this particular responsibility. If you are someone that is scared to talk to clients, maybe being a SOC analyst may not be a good fit for you. Next is handle some service admin and troubleshooting tasks. Now, I talk about researching and hands-on experience quite a lot on this channel, and there is a reason for that, which is to help you build your troubleshooting skills. Learning how to cook a fish is different than actually cooking a fish. Moving on to the requirements, the first one is relevant degree. As mentioned previously, a lot of SOC jobs look for a relevant degree such as computer science or cybersecurity. But remember, it is not mandatory. However, just because it's not mandatory doesn't mean you don't need to learn it. You still need to learn the basic fundamentals. Next is keen interest in cybersecurity with foundational knowledge of network and endpoint. Are you passionate about cybersecurity? And if you are, prove it. They do mention IDS such as Snort/Suricata, and I actually have a video on this to help you get set up, and you can play around with this tool. Then they also mention packet capture analysis with Wireshark. Again, I have a video dedicated specifically for this. And then Windows System Internals and Linux, all of which you can find in my previous videos. If you haven't noticed already, a lot of my videos are helping you become a SOC analyst. And I want to see you succeed, which is enough reason for me to continue creating these videos. You just need to put in the work, and if you can promise me that, I can promise you good things will happen for you. Next, we have analytical mind with strong attention to detail and a commitment to quality of service. Learn how to investigate and provide value to clients. And you guessed it, I provide this in my course, so if you haven't signed up yet, link is down below. The next one is strong customer-facing written and verbal communication. Communication is everything. It really is. I mean, if you can break down the technical concepts to a non-technical audience, you will quickly rise up to be one of the better analysts. Bob, the CFO, doesn't care if RDP is open to the internet, so how do you communicate to Bob on the risks of having RDP open to the internet? Personally, I find using analogies is a great way to break down technical concepts. Next, we have natural ability to thrive in a fast-paced and time-sensitive environment. If you have previous experience in a service industry, you know exactly what this means. But if not, it basically means get ready to think on your feet, Learn the processes as quickly as you can, follow instructions, and ensure the client gets their service delivered on time. In other words, make sure you meet SLAs, your service level agreements. Lastly, ability to work in an operational shift-based environment. Like any SOCs out there, you are expected to work in a shift environment that includes weekends and holidays. Yes, this does mean that you will need to be working the night shift every now and then. To sum it all up, to be a great fit for eSentire or any SOC, as a matter of fact, you must possess the following skills and traits. The first one is knowledge of fundamentals, and this includes IT, network, and cybersecurity. Now, you can obtain this by enrolling in courses, and in my roadmap, I provide step-by-step guidance on what to do. Next is your experience in using tools such as an IDS, EDR, SIM, Firewall, Wireshark, and many more. You can gain these experience by completing labs. You must have the ability to investigate, ask questions, and provide value by being committed to provide the best service you possibly can. No bare minimums, exceed expectations. Next is great communication skills, both verbal and written. To work on this, you can start documenting and creating a blog by writing down what you did in your labs or projects. To go the extra step, rather than writing the blog simply for yourself, pretend that your audience is a non-technical individual. Would they know what you are talking about? And if the answer is no, write it in a way that will translate. This will force you to really understand the concept. Lastly, you must possess the 5 traits that will make you a great SOC analyst, which are think big picture, understand the objective, do your research, ask questions, and finally, put in the work. Although I only went over one job posting from eSentire, majority of the SOC positions are asking for the same stuff, but just worded differently. If you have the fundamentals, work on the 5 traits, and do your labs and projects, I have no doubt that you'll land a SOC role. It is only a matter of time. If you're interested in being a SOC analyst, feel free to take a look at my SOC roadmap, and if you're interested, you can sign up for my SOC course that will be releasing soon. If you want to learn more about the tools, look at my hands-on lab videos and projects and follow along, and then think about doing other labs and or projects, as this will help you build up your troubleshooting skills. You will find everything in the description down below. And that is it for the video. If you found that informative, let me know by hitting that like button and subscribe if you want to. Remember to stay curious and do things differently.